So you worked smarter this year. Cool, great, congrats. But you can do more. And so today we are going to talk about how. Welcome to the Brighter broadcast, and we are talking about how you can work brighter in 2019. And if we're not friends yet, I am Brittany Berger from workbrighter.co, and this is the Brighter broadcast. It is your 10-minute-ish tip to work brighter and live better this week. Comment below with any questions anytime while watching the video. I love new friends and I want to talk to you. So around here, we're obviously all about working brighter. And working brighter is just really about going beyond all of the surface level productivity tips and thinking about big picture productivity. Going beyond life hacks and quick tips. Taking a more big picture view of productivity. One that includes as much rest and self-care and fun and health as it does hustle and getting shit done. So it's about managing your energy as well as your time, scheduling self-care, creating systems for self-care, and prioritizing rest as part of productivity. So if that sounds appealing to you, let me know in the comments. And I feel like it might. If you feel really trapped between cycles of productivity and burnout, and you feel like you're always constantly putting your business before your own needs, or can't remember the last time you said no to a business opportunity, can't remember the last time you had a hobby, don't even remember what hobbies are, let's stop that. Let's put a stop to it and let's work brighter. So let's get into 3 ways you can work brighter next year or right now, all on your own. First, anyone who has talked to me or watched these before can see this coming from like a mile away. One of the best things that you can do to have a brighter and easier year is to practice energy management. I have been here and there more or less practicing energy management for 5 years now, I would say, and it's totally changed the way I have been able to work, how creative and productive I feel, how much I am able to get done in a day, how much friction and stress and anxiety there is in my work, and just so many amazing things that are all because of just paying attention to my energy and productivity and how they relate to each other. I have done a full Brighter broadcast all about energy management already. You can watch that if you want to learn more about actually how to get started. But essentially, most people currently plan their days around either time, like with a calendar, or tasks with like a to-do list or a project management tool. But those are all external and they don't take into account like your internal-ish, your energy, your health, your mental state, and all that. Energy management starts with your energy and then looks at that external stuff. Looks at your own energy levels, mood, health, and other internal stuff before looking at the time, appointments, tasks, and all that stuff on your plate. That way you can plan those tasks to be done during the time of day or day of the week that best matches you energetically. So for example, it takes me a while in the mornings to like fully become alert. No matter how much sleep I get, no matter what time I wake up, the first few hours of my day, they're not gonna get good work out of them. It's just how it is. For a really long time, especially like when I had a day job, I would go into my day job, I would have all the important meetings first thing in the morning because that's when other people wanted to do them. I took that in with me when I first started my own business, and I always had like my meeting times first thing in the morning. But then I realized like I am not gonna be at my best those 2 hours. That should not be when I'm meeting with new clients. So now that I plan my freelance and work brighter businesses according to my energy, I ignore all of that advice like eat the frog and stuff like that that says do the important work first. And instead I spend it catching up on admin, doing self-care routines and systems. And I have another Brighter broadcast about systems for self-care. Yeah, and it's life-changing to just work at the times that make sense and rest at the times that make sense instead of when people tell you should be doing them. And it sounds confusing, but when you study your energy levels and your mood for a while, you make sure to do it so that it works best for you instead of just like, well, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, so I'm going to work the opposite of a 9 to 5. you might find that like conventional schedules do work for you, and that's amazing. Now you can optimize around that. But it's just, you can always plan better once you understand your energy. I need to make that like a quotable. That is a quote to remember. So much more becomes more possible when you understand your energy. I already butchered it. Also, in the Clubhouse, we have a whole energy management challenge where you can use the energy management tracker and reflection exercises for a week or two, and it lets you understand your energy, and people have done some really amazing things with it. Like one member was always trying to exercise first thing in the morning because that's what a lot of the common advice said. But then after studying her energy for a little bit and her mood throughout the day, she realized that exercising as a mid-afternoon break from work is actually amazing because she's no longer spending that slump time on work and kind of getting into a funk. She's instead taking a break, pressing reset, and going and doing her exercise. There's another member of the Clubhouse who was a writer and was always trying to do her writing first thing throughout the day because it's the most important thing. But then she realized that she felt really creative and really enjoyed writing more at night, and because it was so much more enjoyable, it became easier and faster, despite all of the common advice saying that she should write in the morning. So comment below if you think that you could use better energy management and maybe want a challenge or something to help you out there. Okay, so once you do manage your energy, you feel like you have so much more time in your day because everything is getting done so much more easily. What are you going to do with that free time? So now let's talk about habits. Happy habits in particular. Habits are how goals get reached. Habits are how creations get made. They are how businesses get grown. If you have not watched my previous Brighter broadcast about habits specifically, I mentioned a quote from James Clear that he talks about in his new book, Atomic Habits. And it says something along the lines of how habits are like votes in favor of the person that you want to be. And it reminds me a lot of the saying that how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. And then to add to that, we are creatures of habit. There's honestly just so many quotes and idioms and things like that to suggest and back up that habits are gold. But way too often, the habits we're trying to build are things that we feel like we should be doing. Like I used to feel like I should meditate or I should go running because I'm in the city and running is an easy exercise to do. So that's why the Work Brighter lifestyle and the Work Brighter Clubhouse doesn't just talk about habits. We talk about happy habits. Happy habits are ones that both make you better, like meditating or jogging, but they also make you happier. So that might be meditating or jogging for you, but it might also be dancing. So for example, for me, dancing replaces both of those things when it comes to my daily habits. I get into a really, really meditative state when I dance, and it's also as much exercise as a jog. So creating a better habit around dancing is a happy habit while trying to force myself to meditate or jog every day. That's just a regular, boring old habit. And just like with energy management, I created a super simple and super fun framework for building happy habits that I have turned into a challenge in the Clubhouse. So it is, I think it's a 14-day challenge, and I have built you habit trackers, reward reminders, and other tools to make working brighter and building happy habits really easy and super satisfying because you get those rewards in there. So I would love to know, what is one habit that you would want to build? What is one happy habit? And then the last thing that I want to talk about is like the happiest habit I could have ever started in my own life. Journaling. It's a very popular happy habit in the Clubhouse. A lot of us try to start journaling during the Happy Habit Challenge, and it's so important to me, and so I felt like it's worth its own conversation separate from all the other happy habits. So journaling consistently has been one of the best things that I have done to understand my emotions, to become more mindful throughout the day, every day, to hold myself accountable to my goals in business and outside of business, keep me accountable to my boundaries that I set for myself and have trouble enforcing. My other habits, my to-dos, journaling has just been a way to process everything for me. And I think that journaling is flexible enough that that's the point. It can do whatever you need it to do, any way you need to do it. And to talk about the book, The Power of Habit, which is separate from Atomic Habits, The Power of Habit talks about keystone habits, which is one habit you build that makes building all of the other habits easier. And for me, that has been journaling. When I'm journaling consistently, it becomes so much easier to exercise consistently or stay on task and focused in work and stuff like that. And it's because journaling daily, it makes me stop and reflect and have a moment of mindfulness. It holds me accountable to everything else. So for me, what works best is a bullet journal style. I don't do fancy, like artistic ones like you might see on YouTube or Instagram, just black pen writing out lists. I do like to color in some stuff, but like just regular straight up lists. For my sister, I know when she journals, she does mind maps. For my friend Kayla, it is free flowing prose and poetry. It's just whatever you need it to be, and it fits however you need it to fit. It's a tool that I use for processing and reflecting when I need it, and it's there when I need it. That's enough to make sure that I'm on track and regularly thinking about my goals, my self-care, my health, and all of the other things that it's important for me to journal about. I would love to know how you journal if you've ever tried it before. And yeah, that's basically everything I have for you today. But I do want to remind you that I really want to help you work brighter. So if you are looking for the support of a couple dozen productive unicorns to help you stay bright and stay productive and stay mindful, we are waiting for you in the Work Brighter Clubhouse. So you can click the link in the description anytime. Love to have you in there and taking you through the Energy Management Challenge, the Happy Habit Challenge to have a brighter and more productive year.